Good evening.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, Sam. Not too bad at all. Things good
Good.
your end?
Yeah, everything's fine. I'm just posting it to Wild Bill's page, bless him, because it wouldn't load for him, so it's just been
Yeah,
posted. So
I
that's
saw it's
done.
kicked out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How's things with you?
yeah, it's really good. Um, just getting back into the swing of the coming off holiday, and then just planning ahead now. Kids, getting stuff ready for kids to go back to school soon. So got
When
uniforms to sort out.
when do they go back?
They go back on the 4th of September, but it's that
Ooh.
preparation where you got to get shoes and. We tried on some of Gino's clothes the other day, and he's grown because he's got proper ankle swingers, like
Oh,
they're even above his ankles, and
that's the fashion.
so
I see so
is it?
many guys walking around with like ankle swingers now. Surely that's the fashion.
Oh, but no, nothing fits him. But no, it's all good. Just yeah, getting back into the swing of everything. The podcast, and we got our investigation coming up at the start of September with
I was going to
Portal.
say, literally the
Yeah,
the day before they go, the day after they go back, we're off to 30 East Drive.
yeah. So stuff to look forward to, and then I think for all me, Sarah, you, Cameron, Dan, Lauren. We've got the
Yep.
Festival of the Unexplained that we're all going to see each other. And I'm really excited about that because it would be good just to have a laugh, chill out, and have a good weekend. So
You
that's quite
mean get
exciting.
pissed?
I drank one or two too many on holiday, so I think I'm going to step away from that bit. I'll be the designated driver for the weekend. Whatever.
Yeah, I think you could have a drink or three.
Nah, can't do it. Can't do it.
Bit of
I'll just
karaoke.
watch you lot.
Me and your wife
Sarah,
do a bit of
yeah,
karaoke.
try and get you and Sarah, and I'll just do all the filming, get all the funny moments, and
Yeah,
post it on every every page that I'm associated with. We just post it on everyone's page,
that
any funny moments from it.
I'm up for that.
So,
I'm up for that.
so yeah,
So okay, cool. That's good. Well, tonight we have a wonderful guest. He has a massive background, ex-military, knows a lot of stuff that he can't tell us, but might accidentally slip out with. Um, he's an ordained minister in spiritual, does paranormal stuff as well. Yeah, loves conspiracy theories. So we've got a lot of videos on conspiracy theories tonight, which will be good. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to having a bit of
having
a
a chat,
giggle. Yeah. So last time I
see
spoke,
what subjects come up.
yeah. So last time I spoke to Wild Bill was when we were on Matt's show, and we had 2 weeks of discussing aliens, conspiracy theories, stuff like that. So it was great fun. So shall we bring him into the room?
Let's do it. Let's have some fun.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Wild Bill.
Hmm.
You all right, Bill?
He's there.
I'm marvelous.
Good, good. So we've already got a few people in the room. So
Good,
we've got
good.
Sven. Hello,
Sven,
Sven.
friend of mine, Sven. Yeah, good friend of mine.
Good, good. And we've got the Bud Files. Good evening, Bud Files. So that's good. So we're all right. We're off to a good start. So how's your week going so far, Bill?
That's good. I do like your disclaimer though. No one under eight, not suitable for under 18. I do
Yeah,
like that is hey, at least we gave a warning.
that's
Yeah.
it, and
Definitely.
no one can complain.
But anyway, my week, as we used to say, SOSDD. Same
Okay.
old. Hold it. Wait.
Same
Okay.
as
Under 18, not suitable. Okay. Same old shit, different day.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
If it had 17 and under was welcome, I was going to say same old stuff. But,
Yeah,
we, we
in the
can't.
UK we're over 18. It's fine.
If they don't know what shite is, I tell you, then they don't need to be over 18 and definitely don't need to be on this channel then. But anyway, at least not with me, anyways. But anyway, no, the week's been going good. Just the same normal stuff, keeping up with stuff, and just reading the weird news and this kind of stuff, finding out what's going on, and then of course listening to all the different kind of conspiracy theories, what people think about this and that and everything else. So I felt quite honored when you invited me onto your show to be able to vent.
Oh, absolutely. We love a good vent. It's fine. You know,
I call it a rant, but some people, to some people say that is a form of venting. No, that's my way of talking. A rant. But anyways,
how many different Joe Bidens have you seen on the telly this week?
Hey, one's enough. Now, how many ways have I seen Joe Biden on the TV this week? That's the deal. I tell you what, I don't know. It's scary, isn't it? It really is. It's scary. And I hate to say it, as y'all over in the UK are also part of it.
I know.
I mean, at least the one thing what tickled me is this did tickle me. I don't really like talking politics, but this kind of had me chuckling. The Democrats are having a pre-election.
Okay.
They're having Biden run against other nominees in the Democratic election. Now, this is for the Democrats now.
Right.
Because usually over here in the United States, an incumbent automatically runs unchallenged. That's what's so funny about it. This will be the first time that they've ever had a pre-election to see if Biden is really going to run or not.
Right.
Because it is a very good, there's a very good chance that Biden's going to be cut out before November ever gets here. So, I could, and then also to all the conspiracy theories about what they're trying to do to Trump and why has it not happened to them, because they've done the same thing, if not more of it.
Yeah.
There again, you want a good joke? Hey, the government's the joke of our town. Let me tell you, I love my country, but I hate my government. Yes, I said that. I hate my government.
That's all right. You would fit in well in the UK at the moment because we hate our government as well.
Do not trust Big Brother.
No.
Don't trust him. Don't trust him. And that's part of the conspiracy theory right there. Don't trust Big Brother.
No, definitely don't trust the Tories in our country because they bend you over backwards and give you a right shafting. So,
well, now see, that all depends. Do they use Vaseline or not?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't tried.
I'm not game for it, but it's kind of good to know in case if it happens that what do I need to expect?
Yeah.
Lube, no lube, or lube, no lube, or sand. Which one? How's it going to be? Yeah.
These days, a little bit of spit will do. It's fine.
Well, that's considered lube. At least in hell it is. At least in hell it is. The devil spits on the pitchfork before he sticks it up your tuchus. Yeah. That's crazy. If you've ever watched Anger Management with Charlie Sheen, or 2.5, I'm sorry, not Anger Management, 2.5 Men with Charlie Sheen on there, there's a scene on there with Emilio Estevez on there where Emilio's already dead. He's come back and they're talking about, because supposedly Charlie's died and he's watching his own funeral, and talks about that, that the lube is the devil's, the spit is the devil's lube. Okay. Same here in Germany over 70. See, Sven follows a lot of my stuff. He's a, I guess you would say he's a conspiracy person too. Because cool. He follows a lot of my stuff, comments on a lot of it, and throws his own up there. But he is just from the German side of it.
Yep.
And I'm kind of known a few different places, around the world. Unfortunately, for them, anyways. But Sven's a good guy. He's a real good guy. He is.
Yeah, no. Welcome to the podcast, Sven. It's nice to have you here, mate.
And Sven, if you want to follow a good podcast, this is a good one to follow. these guys are halfway decent. They're about like me, give or take.
Only halfway, but that's all right. I'll be the half. Nando's the way. It's all right.
I'll be the way. That's fine. So, with regards to yourself, you've been in the military, ordained minister.
Yeah.
How did you transition from the military? Like, what got you into like the paranormal field, and switching to an ordained minister?
Well, believe it or not, as far as paranormal is concerned, the military had nothing to do with it. That was just something I had to do because back then, when I was growing up, after you got out of high school, you had to go. It was called draft. It was called Vietnam era. So I had no choice. But now, because of what happened in the military, kind of did some things, but nothing having to do with paranormal. That has to do more with the conspiracy side of things. Made me start searching better. But as far as paranormal, well, first off, as far as being clergy, I had always grown up thinking that thing. I mean, one time I even went as far as thinking I was going to become a Catholic priest,
Okay.
Until I got excommunicated from Catholicism, and that kind of ended that real quick. But, they just didn't like it when I expressed my views about, at that time, Pope, which basically includes all of them. They didn't like my thoughts about it. And now we have the Black Pope up now, which everybody knows what that's, well, some knows what that's supposed to mean. The end of days, possibly. But they didn't like it too much when I told them, and this is where I'm getting to with the Black Pope. The Pope is the Antichrist. The Catholic Church is the whore church. That is what we need to fear. And they didn't appreciate that too much and told me they would appreciate me leaving and never stepping back foot on Catholic property again. Little do they know, there is a monastery not too far from me, the Monastery of the Holy Ghost, and they have beautiful bonsai trees. They make some beautiful bonsais over there. And I go over there just to look at the bonsai trees. I don't express how I feel about stuff. I just go over there as a visitor. But basically, I'm thumbing my nose up at the Catholic Church because, I'm on your property. But then actually, it's paranormal, though. My grandmother got me started in that because she was Cherokee. And of course, in the, God, I hate using these words, Native American, Native, Indigenous. Basically, we're the first person here on this continent before some asshole named Christopher Columbus came over, which he wasn't the first one anyway, because it was already proven that Leif Erikson had already been over here in the Vikings coming from the West Coast opposed from the East or something like that. But he was here first. The Vikings were. The Vikings were here in the USA, as they want to call it, North America before Christopher Columbus. And there again, Christopher Columbus didn't even. Hey, Claire, beautiful person right there. She's my favorite witch. And there's her. That's her worst half right there, Lee.
Hi, Lee.
Good guy. They're from the UK. Both of them are from the UK.
Ah, okay.
But very good people. And they follow the paranormal and everything. And I know Lee follows conspiracy theories. And yeah, I mean, that my grandmother got me started because in our history, we have a lot having to do with the spirit world.
Yeah.
So that's like, to me, every once in a while I use the term ghost, but I just do it because basically that's kind of an easy way of just saying it. So not talking down to anybody, but for the commoner to know, hey, Lee. But it's more of a common name, but I like to use the word energies.
Yeah.
And not spirits and not really ghosts, but energies. And that's the reason why I love it when people go, well, when you die, is there an afterlife? Well, let's put it like this. A physical body can die and decompose. Energy cannot be killed. Energy stays alive, so it's got to move on somewhere. So yes, there is life after death, and whether or not do you feel another physical body or not, hey, we don't know. I'm waiting to find out. It's the next great adventure. But I do know that the energy does move on. So I learned through my grandmother about different stuff, about spirits, ghost, if you will, just like I said, we'll use that term ghost. And I do believe, and I have seen it. She has introduced me. I've heard him, but as far as saying, have you ever heard a ghost or a spirit? I'll say no, because I'm what they consider a skeptic. I am a skeptic believer, which means basically I am a believer. It has been proved to me. I do know things happen, and but am I a believer? I don't believe everything I hear.
Okay.
Unless if it comes up and slaps me in the face, I want proof.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I like when we do paranormal and they ask me what is my favorite piece of equipment. One of my first thing is a recorder, and I have a tape voice recorder and a digital voice recorder, because believe it or not, there is a difference. They can pick up two different things, and people can't believe that, but they do. It's just like on videos. Same with it. I have an 8mm tape video camera, and I have a digital video camera. I have a 35mm reflective mirror reflect lens camera plus a digital camera. I don't go both ways because they pick up different things. But anyway, enough of that. Then, like I said, the priest stuff that just came as a natural, because especially after I retired, I went back and finished off my studies. That's how I just recently became ordained. I've only been ordained now for about 5-6 years now.
Okay.
But that's because I was disabled and was forced to retire. So I actually went back into my classes, if you want to call it seminary classes and that kind. But I went to a few different places. That way I was able to, and like I tell people, I study. I pretty much try to keep my foot or toes into all of them. That way I can kind of compare. Because like I tell people, as far as religion is concerned, if you was to take all of the scripts, the scriptures, books, whatever you want to call them, from all the different religions, and you put them all together, and then you read in between the lines, they all basically say the same thing, but with just a different timeline. And the Christian being the newest, because I love using, I there again, I'm not stepping on anybody's feet. I respect all I just want to say this as a disclaimer. I respect all the religions. If it's doing good for you, keep it up, because religion is a belief.
Yeah.
A religion is also a controlling item, a control factor. They use it to control you. Otherwise, they wouldn't try to scare the Jesus out of you to keep you acting right, because, but anyways, long story short, like I said, you read in between the lines, they all basically say the same thing, because things that happen in the Christian, I can show you in the Hindu religion, just thousands of years before. Like the great disaster of the flood in the Bible, I can show you of 5 other times that a big cataclysmic disaster has happened on this world through the other ones. We've had other floods. We've had genocide by fire, basically. We've had, by water, by fire, and by ice. The ice age, it's just so happened the ice age was, I think, the last one. I think was one. Well, I know. Hold it. Wait, another flood would have been before the ice age. Oh, I can't. See, there again, the timelines. I've got to go back. But of course, there again, too, we do realize with the Christian belief, the timeline does stop at a certain point. It don't go like all the other ones do because, of course, according to the Christian belief, there was never any such thing as dinosaurs. Even
Okay.
though we have fossils of dinosaurs, you ask them about it, they will tell you real quick that was put here by God to test our faith. Go for it. Go for it. I love it. And like I said, to each their own. And I will throw this disclaimer, which y'all probably heard me say before. I'm not on here to get you to think like I do. No, because if everybody thought like me, this would be a bad world. Mother Earth is about to take revenge.
Yeah.
She really is. She has gotten tired of us. She's gotten tired of this cancer on her soil called the human race. Because, I mean, there again, I've got a high respect for the human race. I believe in this, that God should kill them all and let God, we should kill them all and let God sort it out. But because God is a vindictive person, we do know this now. Satan is not, but God is. That's another thing I always love too. When I get people talking, it's like, Satan. Tell me this, then, how many people has Satan ever killed? Nobody.
No.
Oh, how many people has God killed? A bunch.
Yeah.
And for somebody to love you so much that they are willing to kill you just to get rid of you, doesn't that make you think?
Yeah.
Makes
No,
me
that's true. That's true.
makes me think a lot. But anyways, but that's how my religion came up, was that I just finally said, the heck with this, Yeah.
Claire says she's a
She's
fairy.
Yeah, she's a fairy, right? Mm-hmm. She's a beautiful person. She used to have her own live shows. I don't know if she still does or not, but she used to have her own live shows that you're right. But anyway, she's got her own live shows, which is very, very interesting. She was right on that. But like I tell people, the way I put it is they don't do it for their God. Man is the only animal that will kill just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
They will go out and kill God's animals just for the hell of it, just to go. Because like people ask me, they say, "Well, do you go deer hunting? Do you do this? No. Why? I'm a supporter of guns. I'm a supporter of rifles. I'm a big supporter of blades. I love blades. Oh God, I love blades. Knives and blades, they're so personal. Because when being used, you really get to look deep in their eyes and soul search.
Oh wow.
I'm sorry. Now, see, that's flashback military.
That went dark quick.
That's military. Well, I'm dark anyway, so if you're just now figuring out that I'm dark, boy, do I have some things for you.
I can imagine.
But that's just military flashbacks. But it is true. But it's just and Sven got a good laugh out of that one. But see, Claire knows me. Bill is dark. Mm-hmm. But anyways, just that's pretty much about it. And I just finished it off, and that way I could actually say that I am an ordained priest and I can carry it. And I've also been I'm on the registry for exorcisms.
Wow.
Health wise, I can't do them no more, but I do investigate. I can investigate though to see whether or not should it go through or not.
Yeah.
In other words, no, this person needs to be on Valium and to be getting serious treatment.
Okay.
Okay, well, thanks to the university system over here, I do have a degree in, psychology, I guess you could say. Basically, with what the degree is I can be a counselor. Whoopee! That's all I need to do is, there's Stephanie. She's a friend of mine.
Hi, Stephanie.
She's from Tennessee.
Nice.
So all these, I have a few people. I mean, that's the reason why I told you to post it and all that, because figured I might could get you a few followings from the weirdos who follow me.
Lee said, "Can you look at Claire?" I don't know whether that's for an exorcism or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what that is. That's he wants me to evaluate to see if Claire needs an exorcism. No, Claire does not need an exorcism, Lee. I'm sorry, you're not getting out of it that easy. No.
Yeah, she's not impressed by that comment either.
See, right. He forgets me and Claire are kind of team partners. You know, if we have to tag team, Lee's going down. You know. But anyway, let's go to the show. How many minutes do we have left? I probably got rid of all of them.
No, you're right.
You're good. One of the questions.
Oh, go ahead. Y'all ask.
One of the questions. So you've gone from military, you've gone through religion, the paranormal, but then you're known for conspiracy theories. You like your conspiracy theories, and looking into like certain stories that happen throughout the world. What got you into that sort of stuff? And do you remember the first thing that you sort of had a theory on that's happened?
I got tired of lies. That's what brought me into conspiracy theories, because like there were certain things that the United States said that we did not do, but yet I know we did because I was part of it, which I could tell you, but afterwards I have to kill you. And I don't really want to do that because plane fare is too damn much, so I don't want to do that. It's not that I didn't want to kill you, it's just I don't want to have to pay out that money. Y'all want to come over here, we can take care of it, but otherwise, no. But just different things. And then like things like before, about the time I went in, like, let's take a good one, which I know y'all want to really talk about this one, the moon landing.
Yeah.
That was one that just, when you're watching TV and you're wanting to believe, it's great. But then when you can start picking out different little things that slip out from places that ain't supposed to slip out from.
Yeah.
And you get this information and you go and you check into it, and it's like, wow. We've been hornswoggled. The wool was pulled over our eyes. That shit didn't happen, Yeah. And then like a couple of the most recent ones that I'll let you say something about, but like some of the best one that I always get in trouble for and usually get the program shut down on. So be ready to restart this program if you have to. And followers, just be ready to do it if you have to. But the Twin Towers, 9/11.
Yeah.
That is a very sore subject of mine. Along with the Oklahoma bombing, the Waco, Texas deal, and just that's some of the stuff. And then we got the latest one, which is real good, which they're not really trying to cover it up. And that's the one where the spaceship landed in the guy's backyard, and then he had some biologicals in his backyard that the camera took pictures of, and they ain't human.
Yeah.
Or at least not as we know of them as, But yeah, just conspiracies that got me. I'm probably bigger in the paranormal field than I am in the conspiracies, but just recently, I've been drug into a lot of conspiracy things and programs because I don't mind about talking about it, and I say it as I feel it. And I will tell you right now, I am not a baker. I do not sugarcoat nothing. I just tell it how it is. Who filmed it? It was done by we all know who it was done by. Oh man, who is it now? My brain's went on a Bahama cruise and left me standing at the curb again. The big director, big producer, movies.
Steven Spielberg.
Spielberg. I was supposed to see. I kept, whose name I kept coming up with?
Go on.
I was coming up with Steven, but Spielberg wasn't coming in. For some reason, Steven Seagal was coming in. It's like, no, it was not Steven Seagal. He only does action movies. That's it. But yeah, Steven Spielberg, he's the one who filmed it. He was on set. when it was all going on. As a matter of fact, there was even, if you look out there, you will actually find some pictures that were zoomed back that actually shows a studio set with people walking around on the side.
So saying that, I have a video. It's a minute long. We'll play it now, and it's all about the moon landing conspiracy.
Go for it.
The moon landing never happened. Well, that's what some conspiracy theorists say, and here's why. Number 1, the flag. How is it waving in no atmosphere? NASA claims this was for image. A limp flag doesn't look good. So they added a horizontal rod that didn't fully extend to the length of the flag, which gave it a waving motion. Number 2, the stars. Why can't we see them in the photos? Well, unlike our eyes, photos can only take a certain amount of light. The light from the sun and other sources made it too bright for them to be visible. Number 3, radiation. How did the astronauts not die from radiation exposure? The spacecraft's hull supposedly shielded the astronauts from being exposed to lethal radiation dosages. Once they were out of the extreme radiation zone, their few hours on the moon were not considered to be detrimental. So do you think the moon landing was faked, or did it really happen?
Wow.
Oh man, it was real. It was real. It was real. I know it was real. Yeah, right.
The second one was, but the first one wasn't.
The first one was fake. The second one wasn't.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Just wanted to make sure we had this right. That
Yeah.
I was understanding you right. I can be dyslexic sometimes, so I just wanted to confirm it. But now the flag deal itself, I can go that because supposedly that rod that was holding the flag outwards was kind of shaking.
Yeah.
Now doing that, the flag might a little bit. I'll go that one. But there's other stuff though that they didn't talk about right there. That kind of makes me really think, well, it confirms that it was faked. For like one, let's talk about the spacesuit he was wearing. All right, now the spacesuit, okay, that could protect him some from radiation. Radiation can totally erase film. Like take film into an X-ray and hit it with full X-ray, which is radiation, which is what they're talking about, X-rays.
Yeah.
It would actually erase the film.
Okay.
But if it's inside of a container, though, that is reflective of radiation, no, they could actually take the pictures and them survive. Because as I was going to say, as far as protection from radiation, the spacesuit itself had levels of different materials, different layers in there. Of course, they could put a layer in there for radiation because here on Earth, having to do with testing for making things like atomic bombs and stuff, they had to have suits and stuff for radiation to protect them from radiation. So they already had this knowledge when the spacesuits came around. So they could have had that. We'll give them credit on that one. Now, we discussed the flag. Okay, we can give them credit on that one that it was real, but it was the rod that was causing the moving of the flagpole. We'll give them that credit. Okay, I can give them that. But now, with that said camera, they took pictures of the footprints. When footsteps, small step for man, giant leap for mankind, and they showed the footsteps on the moon and stuff. And it was quite impressive but now see, this is another thing that kind of gets me now about them saying that the wind was blowing, because that's originally with the flag. They said it was due to the wind. If it had been wind, why do we not have dust flying, especially with them taking steps? Because the Earth's surface is a powder, dirt. Well, the footsteps show that, or else it wouldn't be that distinctive footsteps if it wasn't powder or a fine sand. Because even a sand wouldn't go that deep like the footsteps show. But anyways, The thing was, the pattern on the boot of the shoes, from the outfit, from the spacesuit, they were a distinctive foot shape with bars going across it, tread. That's what everybody thought. Now, within the last few years, though, it has been shown that somebody took a picture of the sole of the boot from the spacesuit that actually was supposedly worn on the moon. The tread of the boot does not match. It is completely different. It is not the same thing.
Oh wow,
that kills that.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you look at the Eagle, the lander.
Yeah.
Taking pictures of that with the material that it's made out of. There is no way in hell it could have made that landing, nor takeoff, nor nothing, because supposedly stretch across that stuff is the material and everything. But when you look at it real quick, it's thinner than aluminum foil. I don't know what y'all call it over there, but over here we call it aluminum foil, Reynolds wrap. But I mean, the spaceship couldn't handle it. Then later on, if you follow videos and stuff, you will actually find videos where they zoom back. They're supposed to cut it, of course, but somebody didn't, so it leaked out. And it shows a studio, kind of like what that did with that video you popped up. It showed the guy in the background. It showed that it was a studio. They actually showed this. So basically, the first lunar landing, Don Vick. How you doing, Don? Greetings from Atlanta, Georgia. And as far as NASA say, just think about this way, Don, as it goes this way. NASA is the government, and don't trust Big Brother. It's that simple. So don't trust NASA.
Yeah.
But like the second landing, see, they don't tell a lot about. First landing too. The other thing, what I wanted to say about that is what was so really weird. Now, this is way, I kind of found this out a little ways, kind of off the backside, that the astronauts that you saw coming down from the first lunar landing, you saw them in the ocean when they popped their heads out of the
lunar pod thing. Yeah.
No, not the lunar pod. It was the capsule. That's what I'm trying to say. Capsule.
Yep.
There again, the brain kind of, it's doing its thing. I'll put it like this. Right now, I'm having to have a battle with 5 of the 8 voices in my head. 3 of them decided to behave. Well, actually, one's pissed off at me and not talking to me at all. 2 of them decided to behave, but the other 5, they keep trying to throw in information while I'm trying to say what I want to say and just totally screwing me up. God bless their pointy little heads, but they're messing things up really bad. But anyways, the first one, like I was saying about them, you see them coming out of the capsule, out of the Gemini capsule. There we go, the Gemini. You see them coming out of the capsule, and then you see them landing on the aircraft carrier coming out of the chopper. Okay. I have seen, heard, read some stuff that when you see them landing on the aircraft carrier and you see them walking, going to be quarantined. They're going to quarantine for a while.
Yeah.
That is the last time you ever see those guys. That when afterwards they had TV, news press, and all that kind of stuff, the people that they had there, the astronauts they had there, were basically body doubles. Not doppelgangers, but lookalikes. Because those astronauts, and what was so funny about it, the true astronauts, their family and kids, they weren't heard or seen from anymore. pretty much after that day. All you ever had was just those three, those three guys on the news things. And like I said, they were lookalikes, and common John Doe, which me being one of them, believed it, because I wanted to believe that we went to the moon. I really did. And, but things that you find out later on, that things happen that you don't know about. I mean, because like why would all of a sudden they'd be landing on the aircraft carrier, and then the next thing you know, nobody from their families heard from them anymore? What is that,
So with the first moon landing, then I think it's like Neil Armstrong, Buzz
Aldrin.
Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin. So there's footage that you can go back on where you got people filming when the takeoff takes place. Like supposedly there's a crowd of people watching it happen. So what did they actually take off, or you saying
they took off? Yeah, they took off because they actually landed in. I mean, we have already gone to space and done orbits by that time. So yes, they took off, and they took off, and they just basically orbited the planet until they needed to come back. And the filming itself, there again, I've already said there was body doubles. So who knows? Maybe there was nobody in that rocket ship while it was making those orbits. Maybe that particular one is still up there. Who knows, floating around? Because see, they could have always planted a capsule in the ocean just by taking it out there by helicopter and dropping it in the ocean, and then starting filming from that point, going out there to it. I mean, you got to remember, we were in the infancy of filming stuff like that also. So there was ways that they could have planted that already out there in the ocean with those three in it, bobbing around. Because, I mean, they did look pretty fresh and pretty energetic and everything for being up in space for like they were. Because if you've been up there for a while, that your muscles and stuff, they start to lose their effect, their usefulness and stuff. So you're going to, green screen. I mean, green screen. Yeah, Don, you're right. Green screen. I mean, like I said, it was Steven Spielberg. Basically, he's the one. I mean, it's pretty much been said. He's the one that did it. He is the one that did it. And then, but the thing is, if you notice though, instead of actually being green screen, they didn't have green screen back then. But if you notice, everything had black curtains around it.
Yeah.
Everything was black. So what that was is that they were cut in through CGI, computer generated. And that way with the black on the background, they could put up any kind, when they cropped them, they wouldn't have to worry about showing any lines or anything because everything around them was black.
That would also explain those stars if it was a black sheet.
Right. And well, like I said, even computer graphic wise, they could still even throw in a planet or something in the background on that black background. And like I said, them cutting Neil Armstrong and him off, and then placing him on the moon, on their version of the moon. They wouldn't have to worry about cropping it just right because the background was black. There's nothing to show,
And what do you think that their thought process was doing this? And so, if it was something that was fake,
it was a space race thing. You got to remember, we were in the Cold War. We have to be one better than. If we want to keep dominance as a world power, as a number one power, we've got to keep ahead of other countries. And at that point, Russia had already sent somebody to space. They were the first people to send somebody out in space, not us. It wasn't the US. We were the first supposedly to land on the moon. And then the Russians sent some cosmonauts up to the moon that never came back. Now, be honest, those were the first astronauts to land on the moon. They were actually the true ones. Russia.
Okay.
Then United States went back up. That's another conspiracy theory. Is there life on the moon? What is on the dark? See, what people don't realize is that the Earth, okay, get away from the flat Earth theory. We ain't going to touch that one. That's another conspiracy theory, which I go 50. No, hold it, guys. I'm 50-50 on that. I can give you some proofs that will show you. I'm not going to say that we're completely flat Earth. I say we're more like the shape of a football.
Okay.
And not global, not round. Like that. Because people always say, well, every time they take pictures out of the spacecraft, it shows the Earth as being round. Yes, and if you ever go to the museum for NASA, you will notice that the capsule has got round windows in it, porthole windows. And what they're doing is they're taking the camera and it being totally dark in there. You don't see anything. All you see is just the light coming through that porthole. They've got it placed at the Earth. So now the Earth looks round like the porthole does. But then there has been other pictures taken from space, which shows the Earth almost flat. But they go, oh, but because that's so close to them. Okay, fine. If you actually go by supposedly what the curvature of the Earth is, once you get past about a mile or so, you should not be able to see whatever's sitting out there. That's just like on the ocean, on the horizon. You shouldn't be able to see a ship 30 miles out to sea. It should be below the horizon. But then they go, well, no, actually, that's a reflection in the sky. I mean, yeah, they get this BS type stuff that tells you. But anyway, more conspiracy there. So anyway, where was I at?
We were talking about the landing. You were just landing.
Saying, okay, go ahead.
Just saying about the theory of it was actually the Russians that landed on the
moon.
Okay,
okay, here we go. Yeah. Here we go. I was talking about the dark side of the moon. Yeah. About people being up there and stuff. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Nando. I appreciate that. All right. I just have to have people put them back in order again. Tell them, get in line, damn it. Get in line. Speak your own term. Speak your own term. You know, your time. Yeah. But anyway, what people don't realize is that the Earth is spinning, supposedly.
Mm.
The solar system is spinning, supposedly, going around the sun, and then we're spinning on that axis and all that kind of on that path and all that. But what's so remarkable about it? The moon is not spinning. How can I say that is that no matter where you go on this planet, you always see the same side of the moon 365 days, 24/7. You always see the man in the moon. No matter, I mean, you always talk, you hear people, oh yeah, Australia, man in the moon. UK, man in the moon. United States, man in the moon. Japan, man in the moon. Everybody's a man in the moon. They all see basically the same craters. Because on the second trip, supposedly from the United States, it was held back. But if you go to the right place and you look, you can find it, that you will hear that they said that the astronauts were told never to come back again. Hence, why have we not been back to the moon? It isn't because and there again, we lost the technology how to do it. How the hell can you lose technology of how to get to the moon when you went the first time? That's stupid. I mean, they think we're stupid. There's some of us out there that is, but like I tell people, just can't fix stupid, Hey, what can I say? But for the ones of us who like to dig and find out the truth, it's like you're lying to us. But basically, the astronauts from the second one were told, do not come back. And supposedly during that trip, that is also the one where pictures were taken. And they don't show them until you can't find them on the internet, but like with a humanoid type figure off in the background. It's dark, but you can see like off in the horizon, there's a humanoid type shape there. You also see, because they were close to the dark side of the moon when they landed. And supposedly they went and did take some pictures of the dark side of the moon. Supposedly, I guess it was when they were in their capsule coming around the back side. But it showed building type structures on the dark side of the moon. Hence the old thing, the old rumor about the Nazis going up there and making a base on the dark side of the moon. You know, that's always been a big thing. They even had a movie about it and that kind of stuff, you know, kind of a joke type movie, but supposedly, you know, but I don't think that happened. But anyways, I do believe in the buildings back there, but like something that happened within the past year, maybe 2 years, there was this deal, and even NASA came out and said something about it, is that an asteroid hit the moon. And then when it struck the moon, there was a ringing sound that came from the moon, which persisted for over 30 minutes. Even NASA recorded it and even stated that, yes, you know. But there again, some come and tell you, some finally came out and said the only way that could have happened is not from an organic moon or rock, because that couldn't do it. That couldn't make a ringing sound. The only way a ringing sound could be made is if that was a satellite, hollow on the inside, made out of metal, and has got a covering of dirt on it. People, we're looking at a Death Star. Star Wars, I mean, people, they look back at movies from the past. They go, you know, they were telling us about this stuff, and we just didn't want to recognize it. Thank you, Simpsons. What is the next Simpson thing going to come up that we're going to recognize? Going, the Simpsons told us about this. You know, the program, TV program, Simpson. You know, but things that, like I tell people, things that make you go, you know.
And you said about, you know, going back to the first landing on the moon, you said it was actually the Russians that landed on the moon first. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So if that was the case, you know, why wouldn't the Russians, you know, hype up about it? If they were if they did something massive, and then suddenly you got America coming in saying, "Oh, we actually did this first,"
because they believe,
why wouldn't they come in?
They believed the first report of the Americans that they landed first. They believed it.
Okay.
Because this was kept hidden real well until just, say, for instance, up in the 80s, 90s, did things start really getting questioned about it. So before that time, during the time, between the time of the first landing, we'll say the first landing, then the Russians' first landing, and then our second landing. Between those times, there's not that much that got out about it. Everybody was still convinced that it was as was said. So there was never no question. So the Russians never really said nothing about it. And now it's to the point that the Russians don't need to say nothing about it because it's out there, and pretty much people who want to know do know. And also, too, another thing, Claire, is the Earth has also tilted another 10 degrees, which is causing temperatures to heat up, which people are blaming on global warming, which it is not. Because they say, well, glaciers are melting. But yes, places where glaciers never was is now freezing up. That happens about it. I mean, it has been proven about every 10,000 years, the Earth takes a drastic shift, which causes things to heat up, cold, you know, get cold, you know. But I don't know where that came from. It's where water. Oh, yes, they have just come up finding water on the moon. This was just been within the last few months that they've actually found proof of water being on the moon. Okay, you know. So, yes, I mean, it's just, don't people, like I said, I don't come in here to get you to believe like I believe. I come on here to make you think, to make you go out there and research this stuff on your own. Because believe me, if this old man who is not techie can go out there and find it, you can too. You know, it's just that simple. It's called Google.
Oh, yes. Good old
It's called Bing. It's called any kind of pretty much server you want to go. Now, I do not recommend going to the dark web because there's a lot of nasties out there. If you've got a good virus protection and that kind of stuff, go for it. I mean, me, myself, and I've got a killer virus protection, which works 24/7, 365 days out of the year. Plus, I run a VPN, which right now I might be a Turkey. I'm not sure. But we all know where I'm at, though. But according to certain things, I'm not where I'm at. But,
so, with the video with regards to the aliens that landed in the back garden, so
yes.
I've got a bit of the video.
Oh, let's go. I love this.
We'll watch that, and then we'll let you explain what your perspective of
what I feel. Right. And by the
There's
way,
like an 8-foot person.
This channel does not support everything I say. This is for entertainment purposes.
That's it. Right, we'll put the video on.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually we terrified of it.
So there's 2 people or 2 subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Okay.
So that apparently, according to sources online, that apparently was a real call that the guy placed with the police.
Actually, that was more or less like a second or third video out there about this, because the very first one was him videoing about where the flying saucer, where the ship landed in his backyard.
Yeah.
And, because basically his backyard holds construction vehicles in it and stuff. You got to realize this backyard is more like, it's his home, but it would be more like if he was to roll up to a construction company office. Mm-hmm. They got a big backyard that's got gravel and stuff in it that you can park like a trailer with a tractor on it and a truck, or y'all would call it a lorry, whatever that is. But anyways, you could park equipment back there. So it was a very big area. And it wasn't just a small backyard, it was a big area. So like I said, it was basically it was a business type residence area. Okay. But yes, on that, some people come out because of the morph suit. You know what that is, right? A morph suit.
Yeah.
Some people come on going, well, that was somebody in a morph suit and they had a mask on. Okay, fine. Due to the video, the security camera, it doesn't show some of the outfits she's gone clubbing in might get close. I'll have to admit that. But anyway, but very tasteful, though, I will say that. Just they say it's a morph suit, but like I said, the camera, if it was a morph suit and with what they're talking about, there would be more distinction showed of the material differences, which if you notice, it's kind of smooth. It just all blends in, basically like he's naked, like there is really no suit on. But there again, a morph suit also makes you kind of look that way too. But but when NASA comes out and they have other people come out saying this is real, we checked the video, it has not been tampered with. Basically they're saying this is a real video. Now the only part we got to get to now is, was these really biologicals, or could this have actually been somebody in a morph suit?
So Claire actually
you got to go with what you feel. I personally will. Okay, yes, Claire, I personally, which she puts too much trust in me. God bless her. She does. We've talked a lot. We're good friends and stuff, and we've talked an awful lot. But she knows how I am, but I do believe that it was true because I have always believed in extraterrestrials, higher power. There again, due to my heritage and stuff, we have spirits and stuff. Um, the Christian beliefs, they have it too. Matter of fact, I've even shown a few in the Bible that I've asked them, I said, well, do you believe in aliens? No. Well, I wonder if I was to show you in your own Bible where it talks about them. And I think in Ezekiel, I think there is a path. I can't remember. I have to check it. I have to open up my Bible and check it, but I believe it's Ezekiel. But it talks about with chariots with wheels of fire flying through the sky and stuff like that. And you've got Michelangelo's painting in the Sistine Chapel. It actually shows one flying saucer chasing another one through the heavens.
Yeah.
Another one of his pictures shows shows Mary, and then through the window or whatever you want to call it, the arch out in the sky, you see a flying saucer or something flying in the sky on an ancient painting, but it's just, where was I going with this? But anyways, I do believe it is real because, like I said, I have felt about that because, like I tell people, I do believe in a higher spirit. I do believe in a more benevolent spirit. Being that I'm here in Georgia in the southern end of the Bible Belt, the Baptist Bible Belt, hardcore Southern Baptist. But I'll use the term God just for argument's sake.
Mm.
It's just like down here when I'm talking to just regular people that I don't really know that much, and we're just in a discussion to keep it on their level and make them feel more comfortable. I'll tell them, yes, I believe in God. And am I Christian? Well, I'll say I believe in God. I do believe in a higher being. I won't get into it that I'm agnostic, I'm a spiritualist, I'm this, I'm that. I tend to be more pagan than I do Christian. That then scares them. They start saying I'm a Satanist. And then I don't want to tell them, well, you're right. I did study Luciferian for a while. So, okay. And I do believe in Leviathan. So, hey, but to keep them scaring them off, things doesn't want to know. Well, another thing, I don't think they're trying to desensitize us. What it is that they just can't cover it up anymore because with cell phones around like they are now, with the instant access to a video camera or a camera, how can you cover something up now? You can't do it. And you're getting like these fighter pilots who is finally coming out like with the Tic Tac.
Yeah.
And stuff. You're at the point now that you can't hide it anymore. They got to open up. They got to start talking about it. And the thing is, I don't think the people are going to be as hysterical about it as what they think they're going to be because they're already expecting it. They kind of already know it. I mean, you've had too many programs out there like the X-Files. Okay, fine. That's a TV program, but there's a lot of things in there that make you think.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just all sorts of things. Then you have these weird programs that come on the internet, live feeds and stuff like this one, where you have some weirdo coming on expressing his thoughts, which is probably nuttier than your grandma's fruitcake. But anyway, or your auntie's fruitcake, whoever. But, the cake that you never eat, you hold it over until the next year and pass it to somebody else.
Yeah.
It doesn't go bad for some reason. They don't go bad.
That's fair enough.
But,
so I've got a 1 minute trailer, and then we'll come straight back into conspiracy theories. So bear with me 1 second. This is a quick trailer for what's coming up on the show. There we go. That was just a quick trailer of what we've got coming up on the show.
Sounds like an interesting month.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting. So Sven has said this. He once saw a video talking about red night vision used in near Vietnam to make pilots see winged demons in the sky.
He's talking about IFR,
right?
The old infrared. See, I'm more familiar with the night scope is more what I'm used to, which is not red. It was green.
Okay.
Now, some of the first ones, night scopes was infrared IR, because that was the ones like you used to see on the AR-15s. You saw this big round thing sitting up on top of it. That was an IRF. That was an infrared unit. But on that, I'd be honest, I know as far as pertaining to like winged demons, I'm not that familiar with. I'd have to go back and check, because there again, everyone would know I do believe in demons. I do believe they're out there, but where, I don't know. Don't go ask my buddy Zach, because he'll tell you they're everywhere. Everywhere he goes, there's one. But out of my travels and stuff, my travel of life, I've only ran into maybe 2 that I might say were.
Okay.
And
go ahead, Nana.
With you're stepping into a subject that I find quite is used too easily, the word demons, and especially if we divert back to the paranormal field, when you're looking at things like TV shows and people saying something happened, they're very quick to say it is a demon, it's demonic. What you believe in demons, that's fair enough, but what would you say is a telltale sign for something being a demon?
Okay,
because there's so many people say 3 scratches, a smell of dead flesh.
First thing come first, someone cannot be a demon. Because that's one thing, when I've done my studies, I also have a certificate in demonology.
Okay.
So I do know a little bit about that too. First thing come first, a demon was never human. Never been human. Never has. A lot of demons, they're not that evil, because if they do confront you, and most of them, they're wanting something. So in order to want something, they're going to give you something. A lot of them will, like if you like the old having a wish, they give it to you. But when it comes time for their just reward, they want it, because they don't do it just for kindness. They're wanting something in the background. Now, can a demon possess? Yes, they can, but there again, a lot of times, I'd say 75% of these so-called possessions are not true. A lot of times it's a chemical imbalance in the body, or a mental imbalance in the brain. But usually for a lot of them, there is a medical reason why. Also, too, but it also goes into the medical reason due to environment, how they're raised, way they are raised, and stuff. It can be, I don't want to use the term brainwashed, but could be implanted in their brains. But there again, we're going back to medical, because that is mental. You hear something weird behind you?
Yeah, there was. I heard a voice behind me. I was like, what the? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. That was just me. I'm omnipresent.
Oh, dear.
Have you ever had energies in your house before?
Yeah, I've got a couple of haunted items that we got from the dark web up on my shelves behind me. So
I've got a few too, and I know I do have a spirit. I do have an energy in my house because I've actually been on a live feed before, and someone saw it walk behind me.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Which they described it, and as soon as they described it to me, because they thought it was a female, but actually it was a male with long hair. It was a now family member. Due to my wife, it was her son passed away, and he's here he's facing this house to help watch over her and stuff, and keep me going the right way, that I don't hurt her or nothing, which I would never do that anyways. But he's here to protect her, and this was his room, and he comes in here sometimes, and you will see him go across behind from here and going over to here. You'll just see him, and like a shadow. I mean, now actually he's more than a shadow figure, because you can actually see some features and stuff. So, because like I said, they thought it was a female, but it wasn't. It's a slender young man.
Yeah.
But anyway,
so I've got up on the shelf there, I've got a skull, and it's a 9-year-old boy that was bludgeoned to death many years ago. It was in an antique shop.
Wow.
But on the back of the skull, there's the crack where he obviously
skull fracture. Right.
Yeah, and when I took the glass off to clean it, a fly flew out of the skull.
That's nice. That's lovely, isn't it?
And that's been in a antique shop because when I paid them for it, they said it's been there for like 3 years and that no one wanted it, but I got drawn to it, so I was like, I'm buying that.
Huh.
So,
that would be something. That would be something good to add in my collection. But anyway. But over here in the United States, though, we can't have skulls unless if they are over so many years old, or you get them from a medical supply firm.
Yeah.
You know, just going back to the talks about demons and what you were saying.
Okay. Anyway, demons.
Would it be fair to say that demons is more something that's been brought to light purely because of the filming industry, and people have drawn into demons? And I'm not saying it's fake because I don't know, but
demons is not fake. They are out there now. As far as like being around every corner, like our friend from out in Las Vegas says there is, wrong. Because a lot of times what people also confuse as a demon is something that is malevolent, mean, bad stuff. They don't forget. They forget. They automatically think, well, if it's bad, it's a demon. They forget there's bad people out there too.
Yeah.
And your energy, if you were bad while you were alive, chances are your energy is going to be bad when you die. So you're going to continue with your badness. Let's just say, you're going to continue being mean. You're going to continue being bad. You're going to be dead, and you're going to do that. Now, you've got people out there, you talk about the 3 scratches. Okay, first off, they use the 3 scratches as trying to say it's a mockery of the Trinity. I don't look at the 3 like that. I don't do that. I would consider it just scratches, period. Bites.
Okay.
I mean, what about bite? People getting bitten? There's no 3 in that to show the mockery of the Trinity. So I just, when they get scratched 3 times, I just figured, well, hey, if you was to try to scratch somebody, reach out like you're trying to scratch somebody. If you did, the prominent 3 are going to be these 3 fingers right here, because the little finger is going to be out of the way. The thumb's going to be out of the way. If you were a mean person and you actually did that, chances are, how many scratches you going to put on that person? 3. That's common. That's common, because if you was to reach out and scratch somebody, it's going to be these 3 fingers it hits, not the little one and not the thumb. So that's going to give you 3 scratches right there. Is that mocking the Trinity? I don't think so. I really don't. And then, just different things. So I feel like a lot of these out there that people say are demons are not. They're just bad people.
Yeah.
Just nasty people. They died they remained that way. Their energy remained that way. That's the reason why I can say I probably only ran across 2 things that I would have considered a demon. And that was because of the interactions with them and because of how they were basically pulled up.
Okay.
So I will go that route on that. And
yeah, we all know Zach would love anything demonic. Zach loves.
Zach's a demon magnet, you know, if you want to call it that. But there again, like I tell people though, you got to remember this too. Zach likes making money. We all do. We all do.
Mm. But that's what I'm saying.
Anyways, I'm sorry. I was reading Claire's. I was just going to say, but real quick though, let me finish. And then Nando, you can do. But I was just going to say, I tell people, look, in order to make the money, he's got to have ratings. Without the ratings, he has no money. So you got to go on there and fake stuff a lot of times because everybody knows if you go out on the paranormal, there's going to be times you're going to go out there and it's like you're playing with yourself because nothing happens.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's fine. I mean, that's
a true
expected.
investigation.
I mean, I see more times of nothing happening than I do something happening. So, you know, so that's one reason if you do investigation, don't be going out there just looking for the spirits, the energies. Also be adventuresome, be wanting to discover stuff, that kind of stuff. And because that way you can also look around, find stuff. Who knows, you might find a cave you never knew about. And at the bottom of that cave could be Alibaba's treasures. You don't know, but you found it by looking for spirits. So, you know, hey, so just keep an open mind. Demons, just, if somebody says they saw demons, just, okay. Just no sense in arguing about it. Just be like me, be a skeptic believer, you know, just say, I know they exist, but without it coming up and talking to me, whatever. If you believe it, more power to you. I don't, but okay, you know. I think it was just maybe a disgruntled energy. The spirit was all it was.
Fair enough. So I've got another video on the atomic bomb, I think it is. It's basically about how the houses and the cars were all destroyed, but the camera footage and the camera remained the same. So we'll play that and then we'll let you discuss afterwards.
Oh, we can discuss, right?
Okay, here's another conspiracy theory. You've seen all the grainy footage of nuclear test blasts that you've
sure.
with the mushroom clouds, and there are always these grainy things, and there's all these like little houses lined up and these little trees lined up, and it blows everything down. Yeah. Okay, so here's the question, right? So what happened? Okay, so this is great. Okay, you'll love this. So what happened to the camera?
You son of a bitch.
How is that happening yet the camera is like totally stable and fine?
Oh my god!
And by the way, and the film is fine. The radiation didn't cause any damage to the film.
Oh my god!
And by the way, okay, we'll do this one. We'll do the loop one more time here. Let's see the car.
The car's right behind the house. It just showed up.
Oh, okay. It just showed up.
So wait a minute. First of all,
wasn't there.
First of all, where'd the car come from?
Yeah. No car.
The second is, does it really look like
car?
Does that look like a real car?
That's insane.
Is that a house or is that like is that a 12-inch scale model?
What?
Right.
Oh, that does look fake.
Because also the camera didn't move at all either.
You know what it looks like? It looks like the smoke is too big. Watch when it hits. Like the volume, like the size of it, it looks small.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, it looks like we're looking at something that's like a few inches tall.
If you watch like making of Star Wars, any movies before CGI, whenever they do anything like that, it's always with these tiny models.
Yes. Yeah, this looks fake as shit.
Let's get another one. It's like, okay, what the camera's fine.
That's hilarious.
Oh, this is good.
Well, you can't really say a lot to that, can you? It's like
exactly what they said, pretty much. But I can maybe explain the camera though.
Go on.
Because the camera was actually in a distance away. I mean, see, they forget things called zoom cameras, lenses, which they can get something that's a mile away. They can make it look like it's sitting right in front of you. So that was in a radiation-proof cement bunker a distance off inside that where the people were even sitting watching this go off. And that's the reason why the cameras weren't damaged or fall over or the radiation got them. That's what happened. Now, let's get back to the models that was shown. I love these things, especially that one where there's no card and all of a sudden there is a car. Because, I mean, we can get on the 9/11 thing and I can tell you stuff about the airplanes that supposedly went into the World Trade Tower. But anyways, back to the bomb, though. There again, we faked the moon landing.
This is it.
And it at least looked better. It looked more believable than what this did. Because, I mean, I'm seeing what looks like models of balsa wood houses that go up immediately. I mean, a good draft of wind. And there again, the smoke could easily be done with dust type soil that a good blast of air on it would cause from up top coming down like a downdraft would cause that kind of stuff. And I mean, filming, there was a lot of stuff that was going on with filming that people never knew about. I mean, let's use CGI, for instance. There was stuff coming out CGI before people even knew what the common person knew what CGI was. I mean, many a time people believe that them going down the road in a car, they were actually going down the road in a car, and all that stuff they see outside the windows was actually true. When all along, they're in a studio with the car bouncing around and they're putting the scene in the windows, CGI. But yet, back then, we weren't familiar with CGI, so we didn't think nothing about it. We thought it was real. It's just like this stuff with the bombs. They show it enough and they have the people believe it. But, I mean, I'm not going to say it was fake, but I'm not going to say it wasn't fake. I'm just going to say I see a lot of cheesy stuff in there that just makes me wonder, like, are they trying to pull wool over our eyes like they did with the landing? But see, the thing is, though, this was before the moon landing, which explains why the quality wasn't as good because, of course, during that time, filming wasn't advanced enough as it was to do the lunar lander.
Yeah.
So, you're going to see the difference in that. I mean, you're looking at about, 20 years? Roughly 20, let's say 20, 25 years max, because you're looking at the 40s with the atomic bomb. You're looking late 60s with the lunar lander. So, we're talking roughly 20, 25 years. And, stuff can happen that quick, especially when we have help from other areas which common man does not know. In other words, with alien help for making things. I mean, how the hell people just don't think. How can they think that man can go from, and I'm going to use the term loosely, primitive state to just basics, not, okay, fine, we had gas stoves, whoopee. We had electricity, okay, whoopee. But to go to radio to TV within a couple of years, and then a couple more years go from black and white to color. Man didn't have that idea. The quickness that we went to microwave stoves, microwave ovens. Man didn't have that idea. Cell phones. I mean, just all this technology. Because you've got to realize a lot of this technology happened within a span of less than 50 years. I mean, there again, think about it. We went to the moon just shortly after the Wright brothers flew. And there again, the Wright brothers were not the first people to fly, contrary to beliefs. There was another person that flew before the Wright brothers did. Cannot remember his name. I would have to go research it. But like I tell people, if I don't know, I will tell you the truth. I'm not going to come up with something. But I do know for a fact, though, that they were not the first ones. I do know that. Because there was another person that flew before they did. But even that, though, we went from the Wright brothers flying to the moon landing within just years, within half a century or so. It's just like, how can we go from paper stretched over wood to aluminum foil being stretched over metal and landing on the moon? Or should I say, paper stretched over wood flying 100, a few hundred feet or a few hundred yards, and then going to something with the lunar lander, the Eagle, where it can now land on the moon. How can we do that within just a few years? We can't do that. I mean, we had to have help somewhere. And I mean, don't get me wrong, we had geniuses and stuff. I mean, look at my favorite person, Einstein. I use him all the time. I love Einstein. Like remembering stuff, trivial stuff is like what you do. Like he even admitted is like, because I get questions asked me sometimes, and it's like, I don't know, I have to go look it up like this. It's like, well, why don't you know? It's like, well, why? Because it's so easy to look up. Einstein even said, why remember things that are trivia that you can go look up? You remember the stuff that is not easy to look up. And a sign of a genius is not knowing something, but knowing where to go find the answer if needed. That is the proof of a yes, Stephanie, I was talking about alien technology. Without that, we would not be where we are today. And believe it or not, a lot of that was passed to us through the Germans. But there again, we do know that that little guy who was in charge of stuff over there was quite an avid collector, inquisitor, not of paranormal and alien type stuff. He was real big into that kind of stuff. Hence the bell. Supposedly he had a flying saucer, a flying anti-gravity machine, the bell. Never has been proven, couldn't find it, but yet they found the bird cage, which they said was basically, from what I think it was an anchor, like some of the modern people saying, where they had the bell because it showed places on that would have kept it within that circle, chained in to keep it from flying out, because they didn't have control of it. They didn't have control. But just that just, like I said, I just think that was the government trying to pull the wool over the people's eyes, because they needed the funding. And what is the best way to get funding for a project you need is to do that, and if you could talk, never mind, don't have to be with me. That's good. I was about to say talk amongst yourself. I was going to have to answer the phone, or I was going to mute myself and put it on the phone. But basically, I hope that kind of answered the question, because my brain kind of went somewhere again, and I think, that might have helped.
Yeah, definitely.
It's one of those 50-50 things. I believe it, but I don't believe it, because I wasn't there, so I don't really know. But the deal with the camera, I can partially answer that. Had to do within a secluded bunker, protected from radiation, with a damn good zoom lens on it.
Cool. That's fair enough. That is fair enough.
Then the technology was there. They had it. Why not use it? Now, as far as was those little explosion stuff real, it could have happened on somebody's ping pong table. We don't know. Just don't know, because that car that was back behind the trailer, like he says, did that look like a real car? In a way, it kind of looked like a toy car. So hence, if that was a toy car with as big as it is, that meant that the building was also fake. So, and they did use mannequins, which could be dolls.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but things that make you go,
That's it. There's a lot out there that make you question yourself.
Question. What's true, what's fake, what is real. So, definitely.
Gotta love the human race, gotta love them.
Absolutely. Yes. Is there any more questions, Nando? Is there anything you can?
No, I do think this is something that we would be a follow-up show. It will be a good follow-up show to You know, because there's so many different conspiracies that we've touched quite a few tonight already.
And there was some that these lead into others. Like I said, there's some that lead into the having to do about the photography and stuff that leads into the 9/11 stuff.
Yeah.
And then when you go into the 9/11 stuff, you got stuff that will go to the conspiracy of the Oklahoma bombing and the Waco, Texas, of the Branch Davidians, stuff like that. I mean, we mentioned some stuff that also leads into others. So, I mean, it's an ongoing challenge. It really is. And each time you drag up something new that can lead to another one.
And that's what I was going to say.
If people want a part 2, let us know, and we'll do another one later on.
I'm game if anybody wants it. You know, just hit the guys up, hit Big Rob and Nando up. And they know how to get a hold of me, how to contact me, and
we'll do a part 2.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a part 2 in there that we,
could be a part 2,
especially. Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. It could be one of those things that it could be.
It could be its own podcast.
On and on and on. Yeah, the conspiracy podcast.
Have y'all ever heard of a program, a syndicated program that used to be on called Coast to Coast with Art Bell?
No.
He was a big person having to do with, I'm just going to say the paranormal, because like I tell people, when I say paranormal, it's not just ghost. The paranormal has to do with cryptids, spirits, aliens, all sorts of stuff. Basically, paranormal is the stuff that we do not consider normal, you know? And,
so that'd be great. It would be great to get into stuff, especially like cryptids and then things like that. That'd be a great subject as well to go on to.
I mean, but what I was going to say, though, I was on a few of Art Bell shows back in the old days. This is before a computer was even around. It was done on telephone, radio and telephones. You tuned them in on the radio live, and then you would call in. But I was called in a few times, or guest, if you want to call it, a few times with that. But I did not go by Wild Bill though back then. But if you, I'll put it like this. The only way I'll put it like this. The way to know is if you go back and you was to listen to some of them, you would recognize the voice. I hate to say it. But I do have people that tell me, is like, I mean, even people I talk to on the telephone that I do not know from Adam's House Cat, I can call them back the second time and they'll know who I am. And I'll say, how do you know who I am? I mean, you've only spoken to me once. It's like, you have a voice that is unmistakable. You hear it once and you know it from that point on. Not Space Ghost Coast to Coast, but there again, we know who also had doings with that too. A friend of ours that Miss Stephanie knows, a good friend of mine who used to work for Cartoon Network and used to have a podcast until the trolls really just kind of messed it up for him just recently. It's just a little bit too much and took all the fun out of it, basically. The great Tom Gully in the Tom Gully Show. Oh, yes, I'm tooting the horn. But yeah, on that and paranormal. And also, too, one other thing, guys, in case if y'all need to know, I don't know if you'll let me do it or not, but I have a good friend over here in the United States who is very, very respectable paranormal field and is now making some excellent equipment, him and his son, that puts the equipment out there to shame. Like, he does REM pods. He'll do them with, without sound, or you can control however you want it to do it, with or without, 1 or 2 lights, whatever. But he does them in different objects, trigger objects, different stuff. Very well priced stuff. I know for the right price, he would ship to England, to the UK.
Okay.
But he does all sorts of stuff. I mean, he came up with the kerosene lanterns, the outside lanterns and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of old people, they recognize that stuff. He's made REM pods out of them.
Oh, wow.
It's really exciting. He's made REM pods out of jewelry boxes, which would be a trigger item for females and stuff, and done in that way. If you wouldn't mind, I'll put a link on your page.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that people can go look, because you have other followers just beside UK people.
Yeah,
definitely.
You also have crazy people from the USA. You probably got people from
Tasmania.
Australia. I was going to say Tasmania. I love Tasmania.
And then we've got a dodgy person in Canada. I think his name's Brian. But you know.
Yeah. And then you probably got you probably got people in New Zealand.
Yeah.
But probably even got people over in China and Japan that you just really don't know about, but they're out there.
Yeah.
So I mean, because I know for a fact that unfortunately my presence has gotten worldwide. So because I've gotten people from Japan and all those kind of places too question me, and because like I tell people, if you have any questions, you have any problems, feel free to call me, and feel free to get a hold of me online, and be careful with the Ouija board. Be careful. You got to know what you're doing. Never walk away from it. Always close it out, and never leave the planchette on the board. You got your planchette on the board. You never do that.
There we go. It's not anymore. It's gone.
Lay it flat down in front of it. Just don't never put it on the board, because you're allowing the energies to come in and use it. If without your permission. And there again, you've always got to make sure you close it out and everything. But I'm a firm believer of the talking board. But I'm kind of old. I'm old school stuff. But I would like to put that link on. Is Robert Murphy? I would like to put that link on y'all's page, because he has got some excellent equipment.
Yeah. Put it on and we'll share it out amongst.
It's at a very good price. He guarantees everything. A matter of fact, he will even do you a video showing you that the exact item you're getting, showing you it does work before he ships. Plus, he does ship with insurance. That way, in case of something happens, you're not stuck with a broken item. The money is retained back and another item is shipped. So he's an up and up guy. He's very, very up and up, very square dude. So,
so cool. We can share out his link.
What do you think about this comment then? Claire has a coffee table that's a Ouija board, and the planchette is her tea coaster.
That's more of a room decoration. That's more of a coffee table and tea coaster.
Yeah. No, that's great. I'm really chuffed that we touched on some subjects, and I'm definitely up for doing another one in the
part two.
Well, I'm game, and I'm game for other subjects too, because like I try to tell people, I know enough about just about everything to make me dangerous.
Yep.
And I know a little bit about everything. Because I like it that way, I might wake up one morning and my curiosity goes, porch lights.
Yeah.
That's what I find out about porch lights. Speaking of that, I got to go put a bulb in our porch light. My wife told me last night that ours was burned out, so I got to put another one out there. So guess what I get? But yes, I have really enjoyed this, and I'm game for any. I just want to say, basically, game for any time. Just give me a fair warning.
Yep.
This is a good time in its own self, even if this is a good time for y'all, because of being in the UK, get a lot more viewers.
Yeah.
Around 9 o'clock than you would 12 o'clock midnight. Just let me know. Just give me a heads up, and if it's something, just if you got a subject in mind, an exact subject, not just saying paranormal. Okay, fine, no big deal. But if you come up with like, Bill, what do you know about such and such? Yeah, I know a little bit. Well, we're going to be talking about that. Oh, okay. Well, that means then I'll brush up on what I know.
Okay.
That'd be cool. That would be good.
I don't want to get out there lost in the Netherlands and Netherlands. I shouldn't have said that. Neverworld or whatever, but just be lost. But
I want to learn about exorcism, so I think that'll be a great subject to touch on next time.
I've got a book here just on exorcism alone, and it's a clergy book about exorcisms. I've got those right here.
I think we're touch on that.
Let's do that. That'll be a part 2 then.
We can't. No, part 2 is going to be conspiracies. We're going back to conspiracies on part 2. that other deal. That's a different show, different subject. Yeah, that's not conspiracy. Exorcisms aren't really conspiracies. It just depends on who's doing them and how they're exposed, of whether or not are they or are they not demonic. That's it. Because you either believe or you don't believe that one. There's no conspiracy to it. I mean, I'll admit they exist, but are they as plentiful as what the movies and TV makes it out to be? No. I won't say that. So
cool.
A lot of people might think that the dog man's a demon, but he's not. He's a dog man. There's a difference between a demon and a dog man. See, there's another show.
There's loads of different things that we could be talking about.
Because you're talking cryptids now, because you get to cryptids, I can talk about stuff like having to go over here on Skinwalker Ranch, stuff that goes on there. Because a lot of people don't realize you come over here to the United States, they're not going to let you on Skinwalker Ranch. That's private property. You got to really know somebody to get on there. But right next door, joining the property of Skinwalker Ranch, is the Strawberry River Ranch, which is a B&B, bed and breakfast. That house was, all that area is Native American property belonging to the Utes, UTEs, Utes. And at Strawberry River Ranch, or Strawberry Creek, they have a lot of paranormal activity there. Plus, you can also see along the mountain ridge all the stuff that they talk about with Skinwalker Ranch. And there again, what is a skinwalker? There's different stories of that depending on which native tribe which tribe you're with is what is a skinwalker.
Okay.
And then just different stuff. So I mean, believe me, there's more than
There's a lot we can talk about.
We've got about 20 shows.
We'll start planning now for the next year of different conspiracies that we can speak about on each show.
Whenever,
it's been great.
All you gotta do is just let me know. That's it. Not warn me, but give me a reminder about a day or two before the program, because I do have CRS disease. That is called can't remember shite.
No worries, mate.
Basically kind of comes out to the old out of sight, out of mind type thing. If I not really own it, I forget about it. So that's like a couple of days ahead. You remind me. I take a little sticky note. I put it up over here on my desk saying, remember, DA, and that don't mean Darling Angel, such and such night, such and such time like today, Monday, 4 p.m., show. Be there, be square. Little Post-it note. When the show's over, I can take it out and throw it away. Then I won't have to worry about it no more.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
We would definitely give you a heads up, but thank you so much for taking part tonight and giving us your theories, experiences. It's been great, and it'll be definitely great to follow up with you in the future and do the part 2 on conspiracies. I think that would be something really good to look forward to for the show.
Definitely. I'd just like to say, Bill, thank you very much. It was great chatting to you again. Like when I was on Matt's show, we had a great laugh. And I respect what you say. It's very interesting. And I really enjoyed it. So thank you very much for coming on.
Well, it definitely been my pleasure. I will say that this show right here was maybe a little bit more serious than what Matt's was.
Yeah.
Less laughs, but we still got a couple in there anyways.
Yeah, that's it.
Nothing else due to me, maybe. I don't know. But hey, that's what I'm there for, to help. Because I'll be honest, in this field of stuff, you need laughter in it too.
Yeah,
definitely.
It brings the
100%.
energy. It brings the energy because it brings the energy up and stuff, and especially in the paranormal field, the frivolity and the laughter and stuff brings people's energy up. When that energy comes up, so does the energy of the spirits. It comes up. So it can help. And there again, you might have some that was just big jokesters, the ones that are doing it, and they might help join in. So, but it has been my pleasure. I have really enjoyed it. I'm willing to come on anytime you want this old man on. I don't mind. Like they say, the idle mind is the devil's playground. So at least this right here, keeps my mind from being so idle that I don't have to listen to those other voices. Like I said, right now I've got that one that's pissed off at me. They won't talk to me, but it'll get better. He'll probably get bored and talk to me. So I'm not worried about it. But
we'll definitely reach out and definitely do the follow up. I think he's come right at the end of the show.
Yeah, late to the show, Mr. Barron. What's all that about? God, I don't know.
Matt, guess what? You're gonna have to go back and watch the rerun.
Watch it all over again.
You want to do it because we mentioned your name a couple of times.
Hang on. He's just come back.
He's at work.
We're kind of like let him off. He's got Wendy's to deal with, so we're letting him
off. That's no big deal. I'm at work and I'm doing it. What the heck? That's no fair, Matt. But anyways,
we love you, Matt. We love you,
Matt. Good guy, like Matt. Really do.
It's been a great show. Again, Bill, thank you so much for being on the show, and thank you to everyone in the audience this evening. Some great, conversations from what we were having, and people in the show. Matt, always better late than never, my friend. And one thing about Matt, he's always there to show support to anyone. So,
unity.
I'm just waiting for a message saying I've got an idea.
That won't be long.
And I appreciate my crazy followers coming over here, helping show some love to Big Rob and Nando's page. But click the notification button to get there, because they do have some good shows, and they have some good guest people on there. They really do, and it can be a learning experience, unlike this one. That you can actually maybe learn something. Like I said, I don't really care about people learning on this one. I just want to get them to go out there and look and find out the answer for themselves. This for me, this show is to get people to open their eyes and make them inquisitive.
That's it.
I think it will do.
Amazing thanks to Lee, Stephanie, Claire, Sven, Don Vic for coming into chat tonight. It's been a pleasure chatting to you all. So thank you very much.
And again, thank you, Wild Bill. We'll definitely catch up. I told you, I said it. I have an idea. We'll definitely catch up with Matt. And that's someone we need to get on the show, even if we swap the day, is Matt. Because he's
gonna tell me when he's free, maybe a Wednesday night, and then we're gonna do a special where we we'll still do the Monday, but then we do a special with Matt.
Now, with what Matt was talking about, a blooper special, that would be this whole show.
What are you trying to say? It was well worked out.
Just run a rerun of this one going blooper tape. Not tapes, but tape up.
It's been absolutely brilliant. And, again, everyone, thank you for joining. And, it's been great. But again, Bill, we'll let you go. Thank you so much. And we'll definitely catch up with you and, make something work for a part 2 with the conspiracies.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to go back to the green room and see what y'all got spread out on the buffet table back there.
No worries, mate. I'll send you back there. Cheers, Bill. Thank you. What a great show.
It was a great show. Again, something different to what, if I base it on myself, what I'm used to. We've had debunkers on now. Now we've done a step into the conspiracy theories, which some of the subjects, that Bill brought up was, quite valid,
definitely get a few more videos for the next one. He touched on 9/11, so it'll be interesting to see his take on that. So yeah, we'll have a little we'll sit down, we'll chat, maybe get Matt on that show as well if we can, and see if we can do a part 2 and go from there.
So yeah, but as always, thank you everyone that participated. It's always great to see everyone taking part. That's the whole point of the show, and I think that's what a lot of us want to get out there. It's not just us talking. We want everyone to join in the audience and be part of it. So it's always good.
We're all one family at the end of the day. There shouldn't be any hate in the paranormal world. It's all about para unity equals family, and there's too much bullying and hate speech in the world as there is without us all being against each other in the paranormal world. So,
and I think, you know what, just touching on quickly, you're saying about hate speech and everything. If you're one of those people that don't have anything nice to say, best off, move away, go and do something else. Because the hate that you're spreading around, it might be easy for you to write something about someone or say something about someone. But remember, the person that you're saying it about, it engraves in them, and it can do a lot of damage mentally, physically, and best thing to do, if you haven't got anything nice to say, here is not the place. We don't advocate it. And, especially at the moment, mental health in any kind of aspect, it's important to jump on and make sure people are looked after. And if you're one of those horrible people, we have no time for you. And that's
before you open your mouth, think about how it may or may not affect others at the end of the day. One of our guests that's coming up in a few weeks' time, he's just received a lot of hate speech on YouTube to the point where he took all his videos down. He's taken a time out, and there's no need for it. So that being said, brother, thank you very much for another great show.
Always good. Always a pleasure. No, I don't need to speak to you. I don't need to speak to him for another week now. So that's good.
All right then.
I'm
joking. With that being said, we have got a special coming up in a couple of weeks for mental health. It's going to be a Sunday night. We will tell everybody on our Facebook pages, etc. But we're hoping to do a men's mental health or a mental health awareness podcast and get a few guests on with that. But other than that, see you next week.
Next Monday.
Yeah.
Bye,
Thank you very much, everyone. Cheers. Bye bye.